What is Deontay Banks doing on my team?
Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
All right, folks, bear with me. I was sick today. I'm still sick. I'm literally sick about what happened in the game, and I'm sick, just sick. And I don't know what to say about that. I just don't know what to say about that. This was a complete breakdown. The only time I've seen anything resembling this in my time watching football as a Giants fan that I can remember is that whole Miracle of the Meadowlands thing. That's literally the only time I can remember us dropping a game like this. I mean, just going down the list, Jackson Dart today, 4 total touchdowns. I think he had like 260 something yards. I mean, was pretty much dealing most of the day against this tough defense. I mean, these 2 pass rushers were sold as like life changers. They really didn't impact the game much. As you know, of course, like we had the scheme for them and everything. Of course, Illuminor had a couple of false starts, and Cooper did have a sack. But I would say for the most part, Jackson Dart for most of the game was pretty comfortable. He was able to go through his progressions. He was able to kind of move around by time. And for the most part, he had time. Now, of course, their coverage was pretty good at times, but he made all the key plays that needed to be made, at least for the first half. Now, we started off, I think we went up 19 zip. You know, we're all celebrating. We're all going to like all of the Broncos fans' tweets that we saved, and we're all celebrating. And for them to put up 33 points in the fourth quarter is absolutely ridiculous and inexcusable. Now, in these types of situations, as fans, we like to play the blame game. And I've seen people say, you know, Brian Dable needs to be fired. Shane Bowen needs to be fired. They mishandle a lot of things. And we love to play the blame game at this point. And I would say I partially agree with some of it. Now, do I think Brian Dable deserves to be fired after this game? I don't think so. I don't think so for how this team has played, even up to the fourth quarter. The last couple of games that this team has played, they have played really great football minus this fourth quarter. So I'm not going to say like, let's get rid of Brian Dable. You got him as young quarterback. He's got to figure it out. It is what it is there. Shane Bowen, does he deserve to be fired? Now, this is something where you have a reoccurring problem where the defense has been playing better and the players have basically come out and say, oh, we've been playing better because he's been listening to us. So it seems like Shane Bowen isn't that equipped to call plays for a defense in the NFL. It just seems like he doesn't have a good grasp of how to get the most out of this defense. And exhibit A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, the Broncos put up 33 points in a quarter. 33 in a quarter. Now, for the first 3 quarters, he was aggressive. He was sending blitzes. He was sending blitzes with stunts. He was simulating pressure. And in the fourth quarter, he says, we have a lead. We're going to back up. And he didn't play prevent defense, but he played a much softer man and sometimes zone defense in that fourth quarter. And they just scored and scored and scored and scored. And then the big thing that nobody wants to address, that people are upset with me about, and whenever I have an opinion, I'm not going to just say like blindly what the opinion is. I'm going to give supporting details. And I'm going to tell you why I have the opinion that I have. Jackson Dart was part of the reason that we lost this game. It's a fact. It's point blank period. If Jackson Dart doesn't throw that interception in our territory where they get the ball at the 20-yard line, they probably don't have enough time with the way that our special teams has played this year. They probably don't have enough time to go probably 80-something yards to put up 7 and then get the ball back and put up another 7. And then they probably don't have enough time. So, yes, that's a crucial interception, and he's going to have to play better than that in those situations. Now, did he get the ball back? Have some good plays? Yes. But also towards the end of the game, again, things started to crumble, and he just, starts to just kind of say prayers, starts to panic a little bit. We have the ball at their 40-yard line, and he's just throwing bomb after bomb in a double and quadruple coverage and triple coverage. And finally, one of them gets called for interference. But if that DB just turns around and swats the ball, we turn it over on downs eventually because Dart had it in his mind and I'm only taking these deep shots when we have over a minute left. So that was a little frustrating to see. But other than that, again, he's a young player. I expect him to get better. I expect him to learn. And he balled out for the most part today. Now, some other things I wanted to talk about is the fact that Jude McAtamney is our kicker. This is a guy that missed an extra point last week. He almost missed the first extra point that he kicked last week. And then he missed 2 extra points today. Hooked one left, hooked one right today. And because of the 2 extra points he missed today, we lost the game. If he makes the extra point at the end of the game, we go in overtime and who knows what happens. If he makes the beginning extra point, they have to score a touchdown at the end of the game. So it is very frustrating to have basically no kicker on the team because we don't trust him to kick field goals when it's at the 35 or 36 yard line. We don't trust him to kick field goals. And it's basically a coin flip on if he's even going to make extra points. Something has to be done here. I don't understand how you can say this guy won the kicking competition over Young Hui Koo. I don't understand how you can say he won. How? Like, there's no way that the other kicker is this bad. Now I know they're going to say, "Oh, well, Graham's going to come back soon." The fact that you went 4 weeks without a kicker. Again, when I say without a kicker, I mean a lot of teams trust their punters to kick extra points. And we can't trust that guy to do that. And then on top of that, we can't trust him to kick anything over 45 yards. So we basically don't have a kicker. And to me, that's just malpractice. That's malpractice at this point. Like, there's no way that we can be losing multiple games in this last year period, counting that Redskins or Commanders game last year, just because we don't have a kicker that's viable to kick a field goal. There's no way. Like, there's no way we should be in these types of situations. So that is a Dable issue. I don't know if I doubt Shane is forcing Dable to move forward with Jude McAtamney. So that's a Dable and special teams coordinator issue, because why did you all feel that you should move forward with the kicker that you can't trust to kick anything over 45 yards, and you can't trust him to kick anything, even an extra point? So this was completely deflating. And there would be some more energy here, of course, if I wasn't sick. But this is just really deflating here because at the end of the day, this team had so many chances this year, especially this game, to be in just a real fun spot as far as saying, "Oh, we're still in the hunt." We win this game, which we should hold on to and win with the kicker. We don't turn the ball over 5 times against the Saints. And, we come out against that Cowboys team and win that game when we basically just gave it up just on a horrible sequence of plays. Then we're really looking at a 5-3 football team or 5-2 football team. And I know you're not going to win 100% of the close games you're in, but again, then at worst, you're looking at a 3-win team or a 4-win team, and you're either 1 game away from 500 or you're at 500 right now. But right now, this team is clearly out of it. Like, we're not going to be making a run at the division. It's not even going to be believed that we are, which is fine, because as soon as we started the season off and Russell Wilson got us off to an 0-3 start, the playoffs were pretty much out of the picture. But this could have been a lot more fun if we just didn't have some crazy things just not go our way. And then lastly, Deonte Banks. What is Deonte Banks doing on my team? What is Deonte Banks even doing on the field? Why is this guy on the field? I understand that Debo got hurt. Why is he the next man up? Why don't we put Art Green out there? Why don't we put me out there? Why don't we put one of you out there? Because Deonte Banks, every time they throw the football up in the air to ice the game in this situation, he's no threat. He's no threat. He gives no resistance. And it's sad because this guy looked like a talented player as a rookie. It just needed to take a step forward. And so far, all he's done is take multiple steps back, lost his confidence, still can't play the football, and teams are exploiting that. And it looks bad. But yeah, besides that, I mean, there were some good things to take away from this. I'm not a moral victories kind of person, but there were some good things to take away from this besides us collapsing in the fourth quarter. The fact is, just like the announcer said, we outscored opponents in a 4-quarter span, 27-0. So these two past teams we played are pretty good football teams, and we look like we belong on the field both times. And for the majority of these last two games, we've looked like the clearly better team. And I think that's just the Jackson Dart effect. I think he's that great of a quarterback. I think he's going to have us in these games every week, unless, he has some rookie issues where he just turns the ball over. But I think it's clear that he's a guy that elevates this roster completely. From the top to the bottom, he's elevated this team. And we look like, if we don't get in our own way, that we can win any game on any week. And that's all you ask for in the NFL. That's all you ask for in the NFL is a guy that elevates your team to this point and just let these guys make the key plays when they need to be made. Today, guys on defense, you gave up 33 points. That's not good. Shane Bowen, your defense gave up 33 points. That's not good. And heads might have to roll for this. Unfortunately, I hate for people to lose their jobs, but heads might have to roll for this because there's no way that you can justify a guy giving up 33 points in one quarter. But again, like I said, for the most part, we dominated. We just have to just continue to play like that team, keep our foot on the gas for 4 quarters every single week. And that's what championship caliber teams do. That's what we have to learn to be, is a team that doesn't take our foot off the gas, a team that knows how to win in these situations. And at the end of the day, Dart snuck it in for a touchdown with 39 seconds left, and the defense can't get off the field. They can't even make it a long field goal. So we got to get better there. Deontay Banks should not be playing under any circumstances. And Shane Bowen has done this twice where his defense has absolutely collapsed. So you all let me know what you're thinking. I'm sure this is a very difficult day for you all. Just seeing this, because we were all celebrating. We were all ready to go talk trash to the Broncos fans who have been talking trash all week long. I'm sure some of us made bets and everything, and we were already celebrating. We could already taste the victory. And to blow that lead 26-8 with 5 minutes left to go. 26-8 with 5 minutes left to go, and we blow that lead. So you all let me know what you think down in the comments. And hopefully next week we get to beat down the Eagles again. I'll be happy. I would trade this tragic loss, for another Eagles blowout next week.